Life is too short to play small. You were designed for big things. You are listening to the Big Design Energy Podcast. Welcome back. I am excited to share this with you all. This episode is going to give you a big hack, a big tool to navigate your everyday life. And it's really going to help this upcoming holiday season. I know there's family gatherings, different stresses in regards to the holidays, getting gifts, just the almost expectation and the understanding of what it should be like to gather with your family, gather with your friends, gather with your loved ones, have love, have gifts, have this perfect life, have this appearance of a perfect life. And it goes over a lot of what we've already discussed, and there's going to be a couple episodes following this one exploring it further, but it's really just simple when you get to the core of it. But this human experience, we like to complicate things. Originally, when I started this podcast, it was heavily influenced by human design. I still love human design, and there is so much knowledge to be found there. But now, this design and big design energy, this energetic blueprint, how you were designed to live and experience this life. When I say that, it's referring to so much more than just human design. So you don't need to know anything about that. You can, if you do, great. But if not, follow along with me. And let's get started. I want to make sure I choose my words carefully. Make changes, but at the same time, you don't need to change anything. Let's just change your viewpoint, your awareness of your life. Let's treat our lives like a video game, like a movie. I feel like movies are more commonly used as this example, this metaphor for this thought process, you're the main character, you're the director, you're everything, you're in charge of your movie, this is your movie. And while it is, I've been resonating with the video game example a little more. I'll elaborate. So, when playing a video game that's story-based, you have so many options. If you're not familiar, I highly recommend playing one yourself or sitting down with your partner if they play. That's how I really got introduced to this, was watching my husband play video games. But there is this outline, and you might have these little side missions that you could or could not partake in. You might have different people that you could or you could not meet. But ultimately, you, the people and the events and the experiences that you need to have are going to happen. You're going to get there, or else you're just going to put the video game down and not finish it. In order to get to the ending of that video game, you are going to be doing everything you have to be doing. Now, if you want to go on all these little side quests and explore, well, you can. If you just want to do a couple, sure. If you don't really want to do any of them, you don't have to, right? Like you could just skip all the little side quests and tasks and helping out this person over here and going over there and helping out that person. And you might get some materials that might help or aid you on the journey you are going down, but ultimately you're still going down the same path. You are still going to go through the same journey. Does this make sense? This is how I want you to look at your life. And even saying, I want you to look at your life. You don't have to do anything. You do not have to listen to me. You do not have to start doing this. But this has changed the game for me. So the point being is that if you're super stressed about end of year at work, you're super overwhelmed with the fact that you're going to have to balance going to see your family, your in-laws, your cousins that are far removed who you only see once a year, who you don't get along with, and you don't want to go see them because then every time you see them, then this happens and this and this and this. Well, why? Like, do not stress about the journey. If you are supposed to see those family members, if you are supposed to not see those family members, then that's exactly what will happen. Maybe seeing your family members from, your cousins that are like 3 times removed who you never see or whatever is more of a side quest instead of your main journey. And regardless if you go see them, you are still going to be on your path, regardless if you work a shit ton of overtime at your job and stress yourself out and go crazy and go in late or go in early, stay late, work on the weekends. You're still going to be on your journey. What if none of that really mattered? Whatever needs to happen is going to happen. Like the video game example. That's why I like it so much more than a movie, because you could look at it like a movie as well. Like, your movie is already done. And you have just lived the part up to now, the present, right? That's all we ever have is the present. You don't know what's going to happen next. You haven't watched this movie yet. But whatever's going to happen next is going to happen next. So, don't fall into the trap of the mind. Don't follow the mind down all of these different little paths and segues and what ifs and, well, if I do this, then this will happen. And if I don't do this, then this will happen and this won't happen. No, right? We don't know. The only thing we know is whatever we are meant to experience is going to happen. Kind of similar to the free will debate. In a video game, you have that free will to go on these little side quests, to go explore, but ultimately, you do not have free will over your journey, right? If you play a video game, you are going to end up at the major battle at the end or the last cutscene. There's no other option. There's no other ending. Now, maybe there's some differences, slight differences in that ending because of these free will little side quest journeys you take. But ultimately, the journey, what you're meant to do, what you're meant to accomplish, what you're meant to experience is going to happen. It doesn't make sense to stress about what is and what will not be. Take a step back. Don't follow your mind into all of these crazy downward thought spirals where it just like becomes a thought tornado and you psych yourself out. Like you think your life's over. I remember being, especially as a teenager and then navigating college and early adulthood, just so many moments where I thought my life was over. But here I am. Here I am. My life did not end, right? We hold so much importance over certain things. And I know the holiday season can be extremely stressful. But why is it extremely stressful? Is it because that's what you make it? You think you have to fit all the side quests in on Thanksgiving Day, and if you don't go to this house and your mother's house and now your father's house because they're divorced, and then, well, your partner's parents are also divorced, and so you have to go there, and then you want to see your grandma, and then you want to do this, and your friends are back in town, and you have to make time for them, and I mean, yeah, that stresses me out just thinking about that. This is part of the, trusting the universe and not forcing the universe, right? We could frame it in that verbiage as well. Trying to force the universe. Maybe you're trying to force it through the side quests, through these optional experiences that can be totally beneficial and totally enjoyable, but ultimately do not determine your outcome, your journey. Instead, why don't you trust that whatever is meant to happen, whatever is going to happen, is going to be what you need to experience. It's easier to believe that when everything's going great. Then when things start going downhill, might be a little rough. Might be a little bit elevated heart rate, chest beating out of your, or heart beating out of your chest. But like I said before, I thought my life was over many a times, and it wasn't. So instead of trying to change anything, right? Because we can't change anything if our journey is already laid out for us. Just observe and be present in the moment, in what you are experiencing. Whether that's bad, whether that's good, whether that's something mundane like unloading the dishwasher, folding laundry. That's what this next episode is going to be all about, being present. But for now, if this intrigues you, I really highly suggest and would love just that shift in your viewpoint, that shift in your awareness, your mindset. Something happens and your body instantly responds and you just go, oh, okay, well, if this is what's meant to be, it's what's meant to be. I don't have to follow this bodily reaction, this reaction that makes me question my existence and my sanity and everything around me, my safety. Just trust that you're in a video game that you created that was going to be fun, where you were going to gain all these experiences, and some experiences were going to be great. You might play the lottery or something in the video game and win. Wow, that's so cool. And then you might also get into a fight and, get beat up. Well, that's an experience. Learning something from that experience. Obviously, if someone's quite literally physically attacking you, do what you need to do to protect yourself. But often our bodies go, fight, flight, freeze response at the drop of a hat for little things. So treat your life like a video game. Next week, we'll dive even more into being present and how that will help you. How that will be your compass versus stressing over the future, worrying about the past. And it's going to keep you, I was going to say on the path of your journey, but I mean, you're already on the path, but maybe, just maybe, that path that's so windy and seems so far away to this next big goal, next big dream you have. Maybe all those windy curves and the hills and the ups and the downs, shrink up, and you're able to get there a lot quicker, smoother. Regardless, you have this. There's no reason to stress. Life is a video game. Life is a movie. Life is a highway. Life is whatever you think it is and whatever you want it to be. Thank you for listening to Big Design Energy. Please share with your friends, share on social media if this resonated with you today. Rate, review, and subscribe